Hello everyone, we are students of the Bachelor of English, Faculty of Humanities, Udayana University. This video is project for the intermediate listening. Listen assigned by Miss Novita Mulyana. There are 5 of us in this group. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Komagi Saputra with student number 240-154-1184. And then my friends.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafael. My student number is 2401541199.
My name is Imade Indra Arya Baharyawan with student number 2101541189.
My name is Raden Muhammad Nuradi Syahputra with student number 240-154-1192.
In this video, we are going to discuss the topic of war tariffs. Let's get started. In this video, I will explain about the tariff war policy based on the video I've watched. The tariff war policy started when President Trump decided to add extra taxes called tariffs on goods from other countries. This was part of his plan to fix what he believed were unfair trade rules, especially with China. At first, these tariffs were meant to protect American businesses and workers from foreign competition. But soon, the situation got worse. The US put high tariffs on many imported goods, and China responded by doing the same. At one point, the US tariffs on Chinese products reached 145%, showing how serious the US government was. This trade fight made financial market unstable and caused worry about the long-term economy, especially in areas like loans and bonds. The main goal of this policy was to pressure China and other countries to make better deals with the US. It was also meant to protect local industry by making foreign goods more expensive, so people would buy American products instead. In the big picture, the US hoped this strategy would reduce the trade gap and make the American economy stronger in the future, even if there were some problems in the short term. Thank you.
So, based on the research and the video, for the country effect of the by US important traffic and the product to this traffic is the country with higher traffic is Cambodia, Madagascar, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Cambodia is 49%, Madagascar is 47%, Vietnam is 46%, and Sri Lanka is 44%. And the major trading partner is China with 34%, Indonesia with 32%, as I mentioned, is it? And the South Korea is 25%, Japan is 24%, and Europe Union is 20%. Special traffic for neighbor bordering countries is Canada and Mexico is 25% for the most product, 10% for the energy resource from Canada, and China additionally 10% on the top of receptional traffic. And the project subject to traffic is based on the FM. Product subject is passenger vehicle, cars, steel and aluminium, network switch and rotation, chopper, Parkinson, lumber, energy production, and certain critical mineral as exterminated. Global conformance is a profile. 90 countries are subject to receptional traffic above to the baseline 10% traffic with more than 180 countries and theorized effect in total.
So I already watched a report video, and this video is discuss how Indonesia is positioned amid the renewed trade war between the United States and China. So the conflict has evolved beyond mere tariffs. It now reflects deeper rivalries over technology, critical supply chains, and global influence. As the two superpowers impose restriction and shift alliance, the global economy faces increased volatility. For Indonesia, this situation presents both risks and opportunities. On the risk side, Indonesia may experience a decline in exports, especially in commodities and manufacturing, due to slower global demand and supply chain disruptions. And also, the rupiah may face depression pressure triggered by market uncertainties and capital outflows. But the tension between the US and China also forced many multinational companies to look for new manufacturing hubs. This is where Indonesia can step in by attracting foreign investment, especially in sectors like electronics, renewable energy, and downstream industries. About the video, invest that to take an advantage of this moment.
So based on the news that I've watched, the solution to the tariff issue involves legal, diplomatic, and economic steps. Legally, the US Federal Court has blocked many of the tariffs, but the government is expected to appeal the decision. The final outcome may come from the Supreme Court, which could help set clear limits on presidential power in setting trade policy. This legal process is important to ensure that trade decisions follow proper constitutional procedures. In the long term, the US should return greater control of trade policy to Congress, preventing the misuse of emergency powers by any future president. Creating clear laws and promoting transparent, rules-based trade negotiation would reduce uncertainty and protect economic partnerships. For countries like Indonesia, the best strategy is to reduce dependence on the US market by expanding exports to other regions, exploring new trade deals, and strengthening domestic industries. This combined action can not only resolve the current tariff problem but also help build a more balanced and resilient global trade system in the future. Thank you.